don't want to leave it behind dry on how to go all the way through and actually set up a UWSGI service to host your Flask app. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm following a guide here on DigitalOcean for Ubuntu 24. We're going to have a lot of this done. I'm going to try to blast through it. You can pause and run the commands as you need to, and I'll post a link to this as well. So let's blast through it. We have an A record, we have Nginx, we have Ubuntu, we have our servers up to date. What we didn't do is we didn't install virtual environments. So let's go ahead and just do it. It's going to make our configuration with UWSGI a little easier, I imagine, having done this before. We already have an app directory. Yep, but let's go inside our app and go ahead and, well, we already are inside our app. Let's create our my project env. It's going to be the name of our virtual environment. We can activate it. This is just a shell script, which is going to manipulate our path to put stuff in the environment. Okay, why do we need wheel? Okay, I'm gonna trust him on this one. And we've got wheel. And now UWSGI itself is actually just a Python package. It's an application in Python deployed as a package here. And so we'll go ahead and run it. Yeah, of course we can use pip. Right. I think we could probably use pip3 too, right? Let's check them on that one. But then anyway, right, we can go ahead and add it, our app script here, right? They want to go and test their app. We already have a sample app. See, they're going to hit it at, they're doing the same thing I did, so this is good. They're going to hit it at 000, so you can go ahead and make sure it's actually running on the server. And right, they're going to open port 5000 because that's where it's going to go by default. Of course, we won't get to 5000 because of our Amazon security group. And they ran it. Okay, they can go and get to their server. Cool, cool, cool. Good for them. They're going to get rid of that crap. And so next, right, UWSGI is installed, so you can just go ahead and actually run UWSGI. So I'm going to go ahead and socket it at port 80 because port 80 is open on our server. We got them installed. That's good news. So let's go ahead and take this. Oh, one thing we forgot. I think we forgot to create our WSGI file. So we do need the WSGI file. So let's go ahead and create that. So let's just do WSGI.py. Okay, and actually I think, right, it's not, we didn't create my project, right? We want from app, import app, app.run. That is still valid Python. All right, so we're basically good to go. Let's go ahead and, well, let's shut down Nginx. Nginx stop. There we go. And then let's go ahead and run this from port 80. Mission design. Sudo, of course it's not command and sudo because sudo throws us into a different environment. So how should we do this? We can't get port 80. Probably would let us find port 5000, right? Let's see. Well, you know what? We know that it works. So what we could do, right? We know that our Nginx was listening on port 5000. So let's go ahead and just stir Nginx back up. We'll use Nginx to do this. And then we'll go ahead and let's just run UWSGI. One worker, right? I know I said I can do multiple workers. We got an error from app, no module named app. Okay, because we are too deep. No module named UWSGI. From app. Oh, because we called it hello. Of course, yeah. So we want to be in our app. And let's nano WSGI. I think that this looked exactly like our script already did, right? We could probably just run hello.py. I think we could. Anyway, let's go ahead and run it. There we go. Looks like we are up and running. We are on port 5000, which I think, let's double check, was what our Flask app was running on. So we should see this. Hello world, we're back up. Okay, cool. So we've got UWSGI running. The next step is to productionalize it a little bit. So we're going, we can get out. So we're going to actually have UWSGI run automatically on server restarts. So everything's going to run nice. Let's get out of our virtual environment. Here, right, they're going to create the UWSGI file. I would call this UWSGI.ini, so we know what the heck we're looking at here. And, right, well, we're already in the app folder. So let's go ahead and do that. And they're going to build this out, right? It's going to tell it each part of the command that we just ran, right? 5 processes. And this is actually going to tell it to output a socket. So we're going to connect it to Nginx via socket. We did just show how we could, of course, connect it with a web port. Okay, so this is all we need. Vacuum, kind of fun names, right? It'll clean up all the child processes, I think. We can check on that one. But does it tell us what vacuum is? Yeah, vacuum will clean up the child processes. Yeah. Oh, it says clean up the socket. That's good. Okay, so we got UWSGI INI. We are rocking and rolling. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create the service file. So this is all of Linux has gone to using systemd as a startup. And so we're going to go ahead and give this our full startup for UWSGI. So I'll walk through this as we edit it. So yeah, here we're going to serve what we're calling our thing app. So describes what it does. User, right? Let's go ahead and run this as Ubuntu, home, Ubuntu app is where we are. And this is going to basically just emulate the, we're going to do the thing that source activate does. Ubuntu apt. My project end was what we called it. So that's going to give it the right Python. Manipulate our path variable. And then home Ubuntu app UWSGI. This is full past UWSGI, right? And then we told it we're in the app, so we're just going to pass it uwsgi.ini. And this is going to tell it when to start on system startup. So when we reboot our computer, it's going to start up when a user session is created. So there we go. We should be going, right? And if we go ahead and start this, we'll tell systemd to go ahead and start it. Start. Oh, I did call it my project. I should call the app for consistency. There we go. Turn it on at boot. Cool. Yep. Okay. Looks like it just created a symlink. And it looks like we are up and running. Good thing we tested it out first. Okay. Boom. Yeah, we're up and running. All right, so now we're going to go ahead. We got our Nginx basically set up, but this is going to be different. Rather than forwarding a port, right, we're going to go ahead and we need UWSGI params. We're going to go ahead and include the socket that it's going to get passed off to. Here they did the full link. I think that was the 1.5-year-old you just heard. So let's keep going here. Sudo nano etc. Nginx sites available. So we're just going to edit this default one directly. Edit the one we already set up. So let's go in here. Right, this is where we're going to have to change. We had passed a port before, so let's go ahead and replace that with the well, the params that we need to include. So if you look, these params would be in the etc. Nginx folder himself. And I deleted that by accident. I don't usually use nano. And so here, let's give it the second part. So let's actually pass that off. We already included the params. Yeah, so let's go ahead and give it the socket to pass off to. Okay, looks good. We're gonna have to change the directory. I think it is still called myproject.sock, but we're home Ubuntu app. Okay, that looks pretty good. They link it in. We just edited it directly in that folder, so we can test it with Nginx, and then we'll go and restart Nginx, and we'll be up and running. So actually, I think I made a typo on the location block. So let's see if that comes out when I test it via Nginx. Check in. Yeah, it is my project.sock that we created. Okay, so this will test our Nginx file. And yep, you can see, yep, I made the error on the location directive. I deleted it, and then I forgot to include the // So let's go add that back and double check. Yep, that's what it should look like. And I think we're good to go. Okay. Let's test it. It looks good. Let's start it up. So service nginx start, that actually is the upstart command. Need to run the sudo. But systemd has the aliases for all those. So now if we run it, we're good. Looks the same as it did before, right? But now we're running across 5 processes on UWSGI. Great.